Welcome to the Kickstart Your Book Masterclass. I'm Ann Shivani, and in the next hour or so, you're going to walk away knowing which book topic makes sense for you and your audience, which publishing option makes the most sense for you, and what specific content you'll want to create to get your book project started with ease. So if you're here, I'm guessing you want to write a real book, not one of those expensive business card books, a book that's going to be read from cover to cover that will transform your readers' lives, a book that will establish you as a category authority worthy of trust. And you want a book that will impact lives. You want emails from readers saying, "Oh my God, your book helped me save my business," or "Tell me how I can work with you, please." You can envision speaking to a room full of people, each one there, because your book has touched their lives in a significant way. And yeah, that kind of book takes more effort. But I'm guessing that you're more than willing to put in the work to write this kind of book if it can attract a dedicated, right fit audience, if it can yield you positive feedback and affirmation, and if it could elicit invitations to share your work from coveted platforms. All right, the only problem is, where are you supposed to begin? Because the process of writing a book, especially one that resonates with readers, can seem overwhelming. And overwhelm leads many authors to resort to best-selling programs, or those, write a bestseller in 6-week programs. Unfortunately, these shortcuts often result in business card books. These are the publications that lack depth and fail to make any kind of lasting impact. In their haste to write, publish, and achieve Amazon bestseller status, authors typically miss a crucial opportunity to connect with and impact their readers. In fact, this rush can drive sometimes it can create the opposite effect. The book that they produce ends up driving potential readers away from them. But you probably know that already, or you wouldn't be here. You're interested in writing for impact, even knowing that it would be easy to gather ready-made content, arrange it somehow, and assume your reader would want it. But that probably doesn't feel right either. So what should you write instead? Which book idea is worth your time? I'm guessing you probably have a lot of them. Which will grow your business, your impact, your authority, your reach? Which will justify your investment of time, energy, and limited resources because you are more than busy? You want your book to transform lives, turn readers into raving fans and paying clients, create real credibility. Which idea is likely to do that for you? Because if you latch on to that, you'll at least know where to start. Not all ideas are created equal, and it's super common to have book ideas that will not yield you the outcome you desire. Some ideas have little, if anything, to do with the way you monetize in your business or want to monetize. It's one thing to write for pleasure or self-exploration or entertainment, but this will likely not yield the outcome that you're after. For the purpose of this masterclass, I'm going to assume that your goal is to write a prescriptive nonfiction book that solves a very specific problem for your audience. This way you can save your readers time and grief. You can help them change a paradigm. You can teach them how to approach a challenge in a new way and establish you as a respected authority. This book also aligns with your core message and offerings. Some of your book ideas, particularly if you have a lot of interest in skill sets, may have to be put aside for another day. Because if you pick the wrong book idea to pursue, you don't just lose money, you could easily suffer an opportunity cost. That precious time could have been better spent on a more fruitful project, an income building project for your business. Let me give you a clear example of what I mean. An expert wanted to write a book to buttress her credibility and attract right fit clients and help those who couldn't afford her consulting fees. This was how she described her target readers, those right fit clients, and what she wanted them to walk away with once they read her book. I help passionate nonprofit and community leaders clarify their big idea and create change in their corner of the world. This is why people will want to read my books and put my framework for action into great use in their organizations and communities. Oh, she had a long list of books she wanted to write. Like many entrepreneurs, she was super creative and interested in a lot of different subjects. She wanted to know which of these ideas she should write about first. A series of fiction books that follow a series of women going through major events in the US. A collection of women's short stories about lessons they learned from their moms and grandmoms. A funny how-to book on writing nonprofit grants for newbies to the field. A children's book about gospel songs. A how-to book for grassroots organizations that want to impact their little corner of the world. Inspiring young adult fiction novels and books for preteen and teen girls. Can you easily identify topics that will serve her intended purpose and audience and which will not? Because I'm betting you can. It is so much easier when you're looking at someone else's choices. What I'd like to do today is make your book topic choice just as obvious to you. If you've been talking about writing a book that matters for a very long time, this is probably the reason you've been procrastinating. You don't know which of your topics is the most obvious. And humans, we don't like taking risks. It is far easier to do nothing than it is to suffer uncertainty. And that's just how our brains are wired. To minimize risk, we're going to focus on choosing your book topic, idea, or concept. And I'm going to use those terms interchangeably. Because if we nail down what it is you're going to write about and why, you can eliminate doubt. All right, for those who don't know me, I'm Ann Shibani. I run Summit Press Publishers, a boutique publishing house that focuses on real books that mean business. We combine powerful, polished writing with business building know-how. We believe that a well-crafted book can be the tip of the iceberg for your business. If done right, your book can transform lives and turn readers into clients and customers who want more of what you offer because they know, like, and trust you. They see you as having the goods. We firmly believe that a highly polished book is the best gateway to your associated products and services. Your book can be just the beginning of your sales cycle. The associated credibility of your book will allow you to increase your reach, attract tens of thousands of dedicated followers, and make a real impact in the world, measured by thank you emails from your readers. I didn't start out in publishing. Early in my career, I ran a writing craft workshop, and I moved into content development and ghostwriting for service professionals and entrepreneurs. I wrote book proposals and books for big 5 houses, Hachette, Macmillan, Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, and Simon & Schuster, which means I have the inside scoop on writing and publishing real books, not the expensive business card variety. Today, I want to help you make some key decisions, the very decisions that keep other experts from starting or finishing their books, so you can begin your project with grounded confidence, so you know you're not about to waste your time on a book that doesn't get read or serve you. When we've addressed these decisions, I'd like to share with you how we might go further together on the writing journey, how I might support you as you build out your real book so you get the job done right. I'm hoping that's all right. So, decision number 1, we are going to choose a book topic that makes sense given the outcome you're after. If you ask me, There is no better judge of a sound book idea than traditional publishing houses. They are all about book ideas that appeal to a proven target market, namely the specific audience you want to influence with your book. Traditional houses make money selling books. Any book they decide to publish has got to sell itself with some major help from the author. So they won't publish a book no matter how well intentioned or how well written, unless they know exactly who will buy it and why. Look at your myriad book ideas the way they do, and you will spot the winning candidate from a mile away. When a traditional house evaluates your idea, which is spelled out in the form of a book proposal, they keep 4 questions in mind at all times. What is your book about? Why does it need to be written now? Why does it need to be written by you? Who is going to buy it? Maybe you've asked yourself the same things. Maybe the inability to answer these questions is what's kept you from taking action. But you might put these questions a little differently. Who cares about my story? Why would anyone listen to me? God, it's all been written about before, so what can I add? Am I the only one that actually cares about this stuff? We're going to confront these questions head on, the way traditional publishing houses do. A book proposal, the ticket to a traditional nonfiction publishing deal, consists of a cover letter, title page, table of contents for the proposal, an overview of the book. This is like 10 or so double-spaced pages describing what the book will cover, what it's about. Then promotion, what you, the author, are going to do to promote the book. Market analysis, well, how many people are affected by the issue you mean to address? Who are they? What's the source of confusion about this topic? What's the misinformation or old paradigm? Give us an overview of the take on this issue currently out there, how your book will cut through that confusion or add something new to the conversation. And then you'll want to list books published within the last 5 years, include their take and where or how your book differs. And then your bio, a page about why you are the expert to be writing on this topic. Then chapter outline, half a page for each chapter, the structure of the book, including parts and sections, and then chapter samples, maybe 2, maybe 3. I write book proposals all the time, and traditional houses are really interested in that market analysis section because that's all about interested, eager readers. They really, 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 really want to know who is going to buy this book. You've got to know who those readers are too, what they want. When you do, you can choose a topic that's relevant to them. If you are writing a book to impact lives, establish credibility in your field, and build your business, then you'd equate your readers with your avatar. Like, did you catch that? You need to know what your readers want, specifically what they want when they come to you. This is not about your passions. This is not about what you feel like giving readers as the expert, what you've got lying around in some hard drive. This is about what readers want, what they are actively searching for. Give these target readers what they want, and you will not only have a compelling book, but a successful business. So this is the reason I sent you that PDF after you registered for this class. And I know you're interested in choosing a topic. I know you'd like to narrow your list down and zone in on the perfect idea to focus on so you can grow your influence and your credibility and your authority with the book. But before we go there, we have got to focus on that reader because all else flows from there, including how we position you as the authority. If you remember, I invited you to answer the following questions. How would you describe your reader? What does your reader want most of all? How would your reader describe their core problem, that which gets in the way of what they want? What do you think prevents them from successfully solving this core problem? What belief, this is how they think or practice what they do, will you help them correct? If you can't easily answer these questions, replace the word reader with clients or customers or avatar. Let me give you an example of how one of my authors answered these questions before we got to work on her book. Dana Abraham runs a membership site for parents of challenging kids. She wrote her book for this avatar. My readers are parents beaten down by the constant battles with their challenging kids, the fears of worst-case scenarios, and the judgment from friends, family, and even strangers in their lives. These parents want to create a family that actually enjoys spending time together and has hope for the future. These parents would describe their core problem as their inability to make sense of their kids' misbehavior. They fear they haven't found the right diagnosis for what ails their kid, and that until they do, they should be stronger, firmer, and more consistent so the kid won't act out and create chaos in the household. Parents are assuming that challenging kids are acting out when they are, in fact, communicating the only way they know how. What challenging kids need most isn't more structure, discipline, or even consistency, but to be seen, heard, understood, and empowered. Following our system, parents can build bridges between themselves and their kids and calm the chaos. Can you answer this question? Could you be just as clear in your answers? Perhaps you'll need to try this a few times before they feel right, because this kind of clarity takes some time. Who is going to buy this book and why you? Let's come back to you, the author, because remember, the publishing house also wants to know why you're the person to write this book. I mean, who are you? What is your claim to fame? Are you relevant to this reader, and how? If you are known for helping lawyers build their book of business with ideal clients, why would you write a book about overcoming loneliness? Why would your avatar be interested in what you have to say about that? Yeah, sure, you may grapple with loneliness, and I'm guessing a lot of lawyers do too. But what's overcoming loneliness got to do with what you sell? Where is your authority there? So this is just a word of warning. I see passion projects disguised as business building books all the time. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably interested in a lot of things. You could write on so many topics. And maybe you've been inspired by writers that seem to write about anything that crosses their mind to much acclaim. But those popular authors like Glennon Doyle, they didn't set out to grow their business with a book. They were self-exploring bloggers with a big platform. These authors monetized at the time with book sales. And selling a lot of books is a specialized game, and few authors can live on their royalties. If you mean to write a book to grow your business, reach, and establish your authority, you would be wise to pick a topic relevant to the transformation you help your audience achieve, the one you currently monetize or intend to. Yes, flukes are out there, but remember, they're flukes. Timing and luck is downplayed more than you probably know. All right, let's assume you're a credible authority, someone with experience solving a particular problem, namely the one your book addresses. Your reader wants to know why you're someone they should listen to. They want your expert positioning story, which will show them why you're not some rando taking innocent people on a 250-page joyride. Publishing houses are looking for this positioning too. Why are you the person who should be writing this book? What's your relevance? I'm betting that you already tell a story about why you do what you do. Maybe you have several versions of this story, but the version you tell in your book must have a direct link to your book topic. What can you share with this particular reader so they know you get their issue on a visceral level? You need to be able to answer these questions. What do you have in common with your reader, either in the past or now? And to be able to answer this question from the perspective of your reader, I would be happy if, again, in the perspective of your reader, I would be successful if. Let me give you an example of how another pair of authors answered these questions before we got to work on their book. Kelly Higdon and Miranda Palmer are the authors of Therapist Burnout, Your Guide to Recovery and a Joyful, Sustainable Private Practice. And they wrote their book for therapists who run a private practice and struggle with burnout. They run a successful membership group for therapists and decided to write this book because this issue, post-pandemic, positively plagued their members. Both Miranda and I were burnt-out psychotherapists, like our members, our readers. We replicated broken systems in our private practices, inadvertently perpetuating burnout. When we started private practice, we wanted to help people on our own terms, but we wound up struggling and vacillating between feeling angry and sad and disillusioned and numb. Then we figured out how to recover from burnout and create a joyful, sustainable practice that truly helped our communities. Then answering from the perspective of their reader, I would be happy if I got great outcomes for my clients without sacrificing my health. If I could make enough money without working 80-hour weeks just to pay the bills and leave my clients feeling like they can afford much needed services. And I would be successful if I could attend an occasional yoga class and take a vacation, be home with a family member once in a while, pay my taxes without stress, and serve my clients to the best of my ability, not fantasize about working at Target instead. Do you think their readers would connect with them? Would they see them as the kind of experts who understood the problem they mean to solve on a very visceral level? Oh, yeah. So what if you have never experienced this problem personally? Not all authors have personal experience with the problem they help solve. Credible experts, however, have worked with so many people who experienced the problem that they could just as well have experienced themselves. They can easily answer those questions for the reader because of this familiarity. So if you're hesitating, if you're not sure you could do the same thing, the topic you're flirting with may be the wrong one to take on. Your readers may question your authority right alongside you, which means they will not read your book from cover to cover. All right, I want to switch gears. I've spent some time talking about how traditional publishing houses look at book ideas and the authors who submit book proposals to them. I am all about writing books that would make sense to a traditional house because if they see a market for it, if they can see your relevance to a reader, you are looking at a saleable idea that will yield you the outcome that you are looking for, increase credibility, authority, and reader impact. Yeah, in the prescriptive nonfiction book world, you've got 3 publishing options available, not just one, and it pays to know this so you can choose well and have 0 excuses for sitting on a completed manuscript. Maybe my mention of book proposals clued you in as to why you might want to know the available options before you get working on your book. If you are dreaming of a traditional publishing house deal for your prescriptive nonfiction book, you will need to write a book proposal first. There is just nothing worse than writing a full manuscript only to learn you've got to reverse engineer that proposal. This happens way more often than you might guess. The 3 options include traditional publishing, self-publishing or assisted self-publishing, and hybrid publishing. We only have a little bit of time together, so I'm going to give you a really rough overview of each. If you want to address, if you write, by the way, if you write to address the clear wants of your audience and it makes sense for you to write this book, each of these options is available to you. Many writers dream of getting their book published by one of the big 5 publishing groups, and these big publishing houses have the reputation of heavily promoting their authors and getting the best shelf space in the bookstore chains. There are also hundreds of medium-sized and smaller publishing firms out there too, but as the thinketh goeth, get in with one of the big boys and you'll be considered a player. If you want to get the traditional publishing route under your belt, you're first going to need to engage an agent to represent you. This agent will then ask you to put together a book proposal, and now you know more about book proposals than the average bear starting out on this journey. Both the agent and the house read this proposal wanting to know, you remember, what is your book about? Why does it need to be written now? Why does it need to be written by you? Who is going to buy it? They all want to see if there's a market for this topic and if you have a large enough platform. By platform, I mean a ready-made audience of 30,000 plus followers interested in you and this topic. Buyers. Do you see why it's important that you choose the right topic, one that is relevant to that which you are known for? If you don't have this large platform, your chances of getting a book deal are slim. Unless you've recently made front page news, which is usually not a good thing, or that you're writing about an incredibly hot topic as seen in major headlines, or you're related to Prince Harry. So just be aware. Beyond the panache of being chosen by such a house, authors love the idea of getting a check up front for their book, and the publishing house who wants your book, who sees a market for it, they're going to provide you with one in the form of an advance, but only after a negotiation, which is where your agent earns her bread. Advances vary greatly between books, with established authors commanding large advances and smaller ones getting smaller. I've seen advances of $1,000 up to $250,000. If you want to make money with your book, you may want to steer clear of traditional publishing houses for a number of reasons. Until you can pay the house back for your advance, you'll need to focus your attention on selling books, not your related products and services. Using your book as a lead magnet will be really hard. As an example of this, a free plus shipping and handling campaign. That kind of campaign would be prohibitively expensive because you will not get that book at cost. And that house will expect you to run an expensive marketing campaign to sell books. So if you say you're going to do something to sell your book, like going on an out-of-pocket book tour, you better do it, or you're going to risk being blackballed. Most important, I think, going traditional typically adds another 2 years to your publishing horizon. This is because you've got to write that book proposal and find the agent and go through the shopping process to find a home for your book, then submit to the publisher's timeline for releasing your book. The most important takeaway is that you have to start by writing a book proposal, not a book. If you intend to draw right fit clients and opportunities to you through your book, that process will keep you doing that or keep you going for quite some time. Self-publishing is currently the most common way for new authors to bring their books to market. The two most common self-publishing platforms are Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark. Each has walkthrough instructions that'll show you how to upload your cover and your interior and on and on. They also have a menu of experts who can help you with various aspects of book production if you want them. Some authors decide to produce and publish their book all on their own, and they depend on templates and YouTube videos to learn the ropes. They get their friends to beta read their manuscript and look for typos. And without hired help, you can publish your book for $0. And I want to offer you a word of warning. Without publishing house roadblocks to navigate, or agents to win over, or house standards to meet, the biggest mistake a self-published author can make is to rush the publication of their book and to scrimp on expert costs, because you do not want your book to look DIY. If you're going to self-publish your book, the one you've spent time and effort to write, be wise. Hire an editor to clean up your manuscript. Find someone reputable on the self-publishing site or on Upwork. You would be well served by a copy editor, someone who can save you from looking illiterate, and a proofreader. An interior formatter and a cover designer, they can help you make your book look more professional as opposed to templatey. Just do what it takes to make your book look sharp before you toss it into the market. If or when the various tasks become overwhelming, authors often look for assistance from assisted self-publishing companies. This kind of company typically offers a range of services, included editing, cover design, formatting, ebook conversion, printing, distribution, and marketing assistance, which are mostly pick and choose menu items. These companies will let you pick as many or as few menu items as you want. They do not evaluate your manuscript for readiness. That is 100% on you. And depending on the menu items you choose, you can expect to drop, $2,500, maybe $8,000 for targeted help. In between traditional publishing and self-publishing is a form of publishing that pairs industry experts with authors. Hybrid publishing, like Summit Press Publishers, allows for both the author and the house to contribute the skills they're truly best at and to develop a close creative collaboration. If you expect to have a say in how your book looks and when it's launched and how long it'll stay on the market and how it's promoted, then hybrid publishing may be a far better option than traditional publishing. This arrangement can also be attractive to authors who don't want to learn the necessary skill sets to produce a polished book or track down the experts for hire the way it would be required of you with self-publishing. If you want an experienced expert to determine if your manuscript is ready for prime time, then this is a much better option. Most hybrid presses specialize in one type of book: self-help, prescriptive, motivational, just to name a few, but some will welcome anything that comes through the door. And you want to be wary of indiscriminate presses because they could compromise your book's reputation. So you want to judge for yourself and you want to check out their list of recent publications. The downside of using a partnership press is that instead of receiving an advance from the publishing house for the rights to your book, you are required to pay a fee up front. This calculated fee is your share of the production costs. And you can expect to see a range of $8,000 to $30,000 plus. Everything from the type of editing required to bring your book up to standard, the cover and interior design and marketing and promotion, that stuff should be custom made to meet your needs. As a result, that fee charged to produce a book is going to depend on factors like the stage of completion, the length, the complexity, the marketing needs, and the timeline. Most hybrid houses will offer you a quote once they've examined your manuscript or book idea and have evaluated your needs. If they take your manuscript as is, no questions asked, you are likely dealing with an assisted self-publishing house because those fees are going to reflect that level of discernment. If you write a book with the eye of a traditional publishing house, you can get your desired outcome regardless of your method of publishing, but you must choose based on the level of control you desire, the timeline involved, and the dollar costs. All right, we've got your topic, and we know why this topic makes sense to your reader. We know your publishing options, which appeals to you most. Now it's time to come up with some beginning content. Given your familiarity with your avatar and their problems, you could probably fill 5 books on your chosen topic. Kelly Higdon and Miranda Palmer, author of Therapist Burnout, felt the very same way. They chose to write about burnout because that was the burning issue for their clients and therefore their target reader. They knew all the things that were burning out their reader. They knew all of the ways they could provide their reader with much needed relief. They could teach therapists how to market on social media, how to fill their practice with paying clients instead of depending on insurance panel workers, succumbing to the pro bono quagmire, how to leverage other therapists or calculate appropriate fees, because these are all pieces of the problem. They ask the same question you're probably asking yourself. How much can I cover in one book? Where should I start? How deep should I go? How do I ever even begin this thing? I mean, if you're a productivity, leadership, financial, health and wellness, marketing, you fill in the blank expert. If you've been in business longer than 15 minutes, you could probably fill a phone book with all you know on any given topic, even that scalding hot topic you've identified. So we come back to the reader. What are they looking for? What do they want to know? How are they describing the problem of burnout? Let's stick with that example. This is where the final set of questions on that PDF come in. What are your readers' burning questions about this problematic area? And these questions often start with, how can I? Or what is the? Write them as if you are the reader. Come up with 5 or 10 if you can. You can ask your current clients, or you can go to ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm going to show you how. All right. I came up with a prompt, and I am going to share this prompt to show you. I'm writing a book for psychotherapy practice owners suffering from burnout. They are experiencing burnout because they want to serve their patients with all their heart, and they've forgotten they have to pay the bills and spend time with their family. They are afraid to change anything that they're doing for a number of reasons, even if it means feeling more relaxed and rested. Can you create a list of their fear-based questions that begin with either how can I or what is the? Okay. How can I prioritize self-care without neglecting my patients? What is the balance between maintaining a thriving practice and my own well-being? How can I ensure financial stability while reducing my workload? There's 10, 15, we can get more. So if you don't know the answer to this question, you can check ChatGPT. Let me get the other angle. This very same reader has some chief concerns about this issue. Can you give me a list of their concerns beginning with the phrases, I'm afraid I won't be able to, or I'm worried that. It doesn't like that. I'm worried that I won't be able to manage the stress and demands of this profession. I'm afraid I won't be able to provide the same level of care if I reduce my workload. I'm worried that I won't be able to meet my financial obligations if I make changes to my practice. Can you speak and write to how you would meet your financial obligations while still serving the clients? Could you write to that? Absolutely. One more, just to show you how ChatGPT plays this game. What secret might this audience be afraid to admit? I'm afraid to admit that I'm struggling with my own mental health and well-being while helping others. So could you write to this? I'm afraid to admit that I'm struggling with my own mental health and well-being while helping others. Could you speak to that in a solid way? All right. Do you see how wonderful ChatGPT is? Okay. Let me come back. Like we come back to our reader, we come back to our slides. Do you think that focusing on these facets would allow your reader to feel heard and seen? Would they see you as a veritable mind reader who gets what's at stake for them? Because you don't have to wow your readers with everything you know. You just need to speak to their core issues and help them get some relief. Always go back to your readers' struggles. How do they describe the issue? What do they believe is the problem they need to solve? Why do you see? What do you see as the true source of difficulty? What kind of relief do they want to experience? What does that look like in very real terms? Write to that. And your readers will feel seen and heard and grateful for your solution because finally someone gets it. Someone is providing them with precisely what they need and what they're looking for. And I'm betting you can do that. Maybe you're even a little excited about getting to know your avatar better and maybe even playing around with ChatGPT. So, how do you write the kind of book that could be published with the utmost confidence, regardless of the method you choose? A real book that is guaranteed to serve your reader in a big way and make sense coming from you. By now, I'm guessing you can see which book ideas you should set aside for the moment. Because if you want to change lives, including your own, and increase your credibility, authority, and reach, then you've got to write for your reader. You've got to give your reader what they want, not what's necessarily expedient or what you feel like talking about. You know how to uncover what your reader wants, what they're afraid of, what they think the real problem is. You know what they yearn for in a very visceral way because you either have been there yourself or you've helped enough people to solve that problem that you could just as well have been there. You know what they're saying and thinking, even what they're doing. You know the burning questions your reader have around this topic and their chief concerns. And if you focus on answering those questions, you will be writing for quite some time. And that's how real books are built. And for some of you, this new understanding is enough to get you going. The possibilities have been narrowed down to one obvious choice. So you're going to be off to the races. And you're probably, right after you jump off this call, going to run to your keyboard. And for others, you are no doubt excited about the possibilities, but a few other questions are popping into your head. And some of those questions may make you a little nervous. I want a book that grips my ideal reader from start to finish, a book they cannot put down. How am I going to do that? Beyond writing to those hot topics my reader wants. The process of writing a book, especially one that genuinely resonates with readers, might seem exciting, but a little overwhelming. Wanting to write a book and feeling ready to tackle it are two different things. And it's usually not the workload that's daunting. It is the great unknowns. The intricacies of writing and publishing that are still mysteries to you, the things you don't even realize you don't know about the process, and the concerns over whether your writing skills can do justice to your vision. The fear that you're fooling yourself and your ideas might not actually find an audience, and like the list goes on. What you need is a strategy that truly works, ongoing support and feedback, and realistic, practical information to navigate your book's journey. With the right guidance, you can create a book that not only fulfills your vision, but also genuinely connects with your readers. And you can do this. You just need a strategy that works. You need support and feedback in real time instead of the pie in the sky promises. You need realistic information that will help you chart the best course for your book. For almost 2 decades, that's what I have given my clients, and this is what I give 12 authors in Write a Real Book workshop. And I'm going to share all of my knowledge and all of my expertise with you in our next workshop, and that begins on February 6, 2024. This workshop can guide you through the maze of writing and publishing so you avoid dead ends that waste time and money. It can help you develop a book. You can build a dream on, a life-changing book readers cannot put down, a book readers love. Help you decide which publishing avenue is best for you and your book and weigh those pluses and minuses with you. And here's some of what you're going to get. Crafting a compelling message and a promise that not only attracts your ideal reader, but also motivates them to purchase and read your book. Building a strong, immediate connection with your readers from that first page, encouraging them to not only finish your book, but also to take meaningful action. Developing a structured outline that resonates with your target audience fosters trust and supports readers throughout their journey with your book. Efficiently organizing and compiling content to save time and reduce frustration. Skillfully navigating your personal stories, choosing which parts to share, where to include them, and how to best convey them without overwhelming your readers. Implementing proven editing techniques to elevate your book's quality and readability, establishing a realistic budget and timeline, ensuring the production of a high-quality book without the undue stress or financial strain. By the end of this workshop, you will have a clear understanding of these critical aspects and be well-equipped to write a book that truly resonates with your audience. Just know that my private clients pay me $2,000 an hour for coaching and editing, $30,000 plus for a developmental edit of their completed manuscript, $55,000 plus to help them develop and write and edit and publish their book. In this course, you're going to have 20 plus hours of live training where I teach you everything I teach my private clients, as well as up to 10 hours of my time focused solely on you and your book. My private clients pay more than $30,000 just for these two components of the course. And I'm doing a workshop instead of a video course because I want you to have the support and feedback you need in real time so you can get the job done right. This workshop also features additional content with literary agents and social media experts and book promotion, so you'll know how to sell your book even before it's done. When you register, you're going to have the option to pay the full workshop fee of $12,000 or pay in 4 installments. If you're ready to join my workshop, you want to click the link that is, let me see if I can publish the link. Publish the link. Yeah, I figured it out. You're going to want to click the link that's in the chat. So you can send my staff an email, and they're going to help you schedule a time for us to talk about your book and your goals and what you can expect from this workshop. Now, I'm unable to talk at length about your book or use this time to answer questions about your writing. This is to discuss your place in the workshop. Again, you want to click the link in the chat and you want to send my team an email, and they're going to help you schedule a time for us to talk. If you know my work, you know that I often speak out against misleading offers in the publishing industry regarding costs and timelines and projected outcomes. So let me set realistic expectations right here and now. I cannot guarantee that you will complete your book in 6 months. While many will finish a first draft in that time, others may not, because the creative process varies from person to person and life can be unpredictable. Not everyone may be at the starting line of writing just yet, and while I can't promise bestseller status unless you're looking to manipulate Amazon rankings, what I can assure you is truthful insight into what it takes to be a successful author and the knowledge to write a real book. Whether you join us with an idea, a partial draft, or a few written chapters, my approach is to meet you where they are or meet you where you are. Together, we are going to develop a personalized plan tailored to your workshop goals. You should also know that once you join, you're going to have lifelong access to all workshop materials and recordings, as well as permanent membership in our online community. As an alumnus, you'll also have the privilege to audit any future workshop session and bonus content completely free of charge. In this workshop, we focus on key skills and strategies to enhance your book writing journey. Your message or framework can change lives. And my goal is to help you get that message out into the world in a really big way. I am eager to share the insights I've gathered from my experience as a ghostwriter, a developmental editor, and a publisher. I want to encourage you to see yourself not just as an author of a quick read business card book or a fleeting Amazon bestseller, because you are capable of so much more. And remember, you are not in this alone. You deserve a dedicated readership and a fan base. But that requires a commitment from you, a commitment to offer your readers nothing but your best. You need to strive for excellence, aim to write a real book that readers cherish, one that they underline and highlight as they find valuable insights on each page. Commit to creating a book that not only stays on readers' shelves, but also gets recommended to their friends and their colleagues, because that is how your message spreads. Set out to write a book that's not just informative, but also inspiring and entertaining, a book that makes a real difference in people's lives. In so doing, you will find that your own life changes as well. Make the commitment to write a real book. Your book has the potential to be a cherished favorite, rather just another forgotten handout on some conference floor. All right, your message is important, and you can sit on it, or you could do your best to write your way to it on your own. Or you can join my fully supported workshop now. This is a 6-month commitment. You can write your real book with real-time guidance through every stage of the process, so you produce a book that gets you the outcome you're after. Imagine readers approaching you because they have read your book and want nothing more than to work with you. Imagine walking past the Barnes & Noble and seeing your book in the window. Imagine receiving an email from a reader telling you that you saved them from divorce or bankruptcy, or from making the kind of errors that take the unwary down. Imagine selling more of your products and programs because of increased demand for your expertise. And imagine the added clarity and confidence that comes with knowing precisely how to speak to your people in a way that goes straight to their hearts. Imagine the respect of your colleagues and the peers and the big names, the biggest names in your industry. So you want to hit the link in the chat and send my team an email. They're going to help schedule a time for us to talk about your book and your goals and what you can expect from this workshop. I am so looking forward to continuing on the book journey together. And I'll see you on the other side.